Greetings, family. Welcome and welcome back. I am Thatbaldbrutha, and this is the Say What I Said show. Today, we're going to be talking about Jonathan Owens, who was recently in the news because of an interview that he did on the Pivot podcast, where he was asked a question about his relationship with Simone Biles. Let's get into it.
Bro, as us pretty red dimes as we are, how in the hell did you pull Simone Biles? And I love this football talk, bro. I gotta get to it. I'm over here rubbing my knees trying to answer this question.
Hey, Chad, I wanted to tell him he's talking about being looked over. Now, when the right people look at you.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying?
How did you do that, bro?
Man, it's really how she pulled me, man. That's the question.
Oh,
man.
Lord Jesus. Now you with Freddie. Now it's back. now
But
you
listen,
with
I'm gonna tell you, organic story, man. So I just got to Houston. I probably have been to Houston 7 months. I was single at the time, so I'm just living, being me and myself. And COVID had just hit, but I had just went to Arizona, and one of my boys are like, "Hey man, you gotta check out this app, And I'm like, "Man, I'll check it out." Like, what is it? It was called Raya at the time. So literally have been on the app for a couple of days, man. And it's like she pops up, and I'm like, let me see who this is. Gymnastics. I ain't never, I never really paid attention to gymnastics, so it piqued my curiosity, So I'm like, okay, I'll see what's up. I swiped her, and it said we matched. So I'm just like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna see what's up. So I go do my workout, and I come back, and I get I had some likes on my Instagram, and I'm like, oh, this might be. I'm like, okay. So I see what's up, and then I still waited. I'm like, man, I'm gonna wait till I, take a shower and everything. Then I come back to my phone, and then she messages me on the app like, hey, you know what I mean? And I'm, man, this gotta be fake. Like, I don't know. I didn't know who she was at the time, but the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she gotta be good. I promise you, I'm a real life story. When she won the Olympics, I was in college, and we didn't have NBC, we didn't have Olympic channels, and we're in camp.
As I watched the interview process and the way he answered the questions, the one thing that glaringly stood out to me was perspective. This is a young man playing football, okay? He's not playing college level football or minor league football. He's playing professional football. And as most men growing up, we saw male athletes getting a lot of attention from females. So it's not without the realm of possibility that he grew up with the understanding and the belief that once he got to a certain level in his career as an athlete, that he would be the prize. He would be coveted by women and chased by women. And I'm sure that in his short career thus far, before meeting Simone Biles, he had women pursuing him. So when certain men get to that level, they have the belief and understanding that women come to them. They don't pursue women. And I'm sure most athletes and celebrities can attest to that they get a lot more attention unwanted than they do pursuing women.
But like I was saying, man, she messaged me. This was like a Tuesday, and we were texting back and forth, and then we hung out Friday, man. And, we couldn't do much as COVID happened. Everything was shut down. So she came through down to Houston. She lived in the suburbs, so she had to drive about 45 minutes to me. Then the rest is history, man.
So you was really the catch in.
I always say the men the catch, man. I always say we the catch.
Before we get into a longer conversation, let's define what the prize is. I found this definition online, and it says, the prize is typically defined as the person who has options. They have an intrinsic sense of self-worth and standards that they believe will be met. Therefore, they have no problem holding out for what they truly want. The prize in a relationship has options and several potential partners competing for his or her attention. They have a healthy sense of self-worth, understand their value, and are confident that anyone will be fortunate to secure a relationship with them. More importantly, the other people recognize the value in a prize and as a result are fine with pursuing the prize. Now, traditionally, men are not allowed in modern society to claim themselves as being any kind of prize. Only women have been that and remain that way. So a lot of the backlash that he got was because he broke a societal code by even having the audacity to say that he is potentially the prize. Now, when I heard him say those things, initially I didn't feel like it was a knock against Simone. I felt the guy was really just being extra confident, borderline arrogant. He mentioned in the video, if you watch the entire interview, he talked about as he was coming up, he had a lot of self-esteem issues that he had to deal with. And getting to a place of being able to play at a level that he wanted to play at required a lot of energy and work from him mentally and physically. So I don't doubt that he had to build up an indestructible self-confidence to be able to play at the level he's playing. And with that comes sometimes an inflated sense of ego where you feel like you are better, you may be better, or you may be the prize.
If I say this out loud, was Jonathan Owens ain't really want Simone Biles, is what you're saying.
At the time,
That's what
I'm not gonna say that.
That's what you're saying.
I was afraid. I was afraid to commit. I'm like, man, this my third year. You know, I'm trying to. I'm like, it's kind of early. But you know, like I said, man, it happened when you least expected, and we hung out, man. It was like we hit it off instantly.
Now, another piece of that puzzle regarding what is qualified as the prize is how the prize affects your sexual market value. Let's take a look at this. Sexual market value is what you're worth on the dating market. To put it crassly, how hot of a commodity are you? How many people want you and don't mind putting in the necessary work to obtain you? Your sexual market value can affect how easily you manifest your desired mate. Furthermore, this is not something that is set in stone, because there are actions you can take to directly impact your value. A few things that influence your sexual market value, or SMV, are appearance, age, personality, confidence, your perceived relationship behavior, and or contribution. So as you see, there is a confidence component to believing that you are the prize. And I don't see there's any issue with someone being confident in who they are, recognizing that they have value in themselves. You know, it's one thing to say that I'm better than somebody else, or I'm better than you, I'm better than her. No, it's one thing to say that I feel that I have enough value that someone should appreciate and see me as a blessing in their life. So I don't understand why there's such an issue. Why can't both people be the prize? Why can't both people have value? I look at prize as being more of what value do you have, not so much whether you're a one-up or somebody over somebody else. And yes, having confidence in yourself is important when it comes to relationships, because you have to keep yourself grounded, especially as a man, because men do most of the pursuing. So we have to keep ourselves grounded, because we cannot come into a relationship in a mindset of need or lack, because it puts us in a bad position to be taken advantage of. You have to come in knowing your worth, what you're going to tolerate, what you're not going to tolerate, what are your boundaries, what you're going to do, what you're not going to do, all those things, and still be a human being in the process, and be able to express yourself, have conversation, and be personable, and be able someone that's enjoyable to be around. A quote that I read recently said, "It doesn't matter how decorated you are on the outside, you're still human on the inside." And that's the person you're investing your time and attention in, and who you're going to deal with in the long term. So make sure you choose wisely when going forward.
Did you tell her you didn't know who she was?
Actually, my question to her was like, who's your competition? I didn't know nothing about gymnastics, so I'm just asking her.
Nobody.
Yeah, and that's what she's like. She told me like myself. That's the most vivid memory I have of that. She was like, myself. I'm like, nah, for real. Like, who do you compete with? She's like, myself. It's because most of the time it comes down to if I mess up or not. And I'm like.
And another thing he mentioned during the interview was that he didn't know who Simone Biles was. And I was like, bro, come on. Simone Biles is not some amateur name you never heard of. Her name is in the news and has been in the news for a number of years, up where along the lines of, dare I say, a Michael Jordan or LeBron James or insert any other famous athlete. She's not someone who's not known. So I find it hard to believe that you was in training camp and you've never heard of Simone Biles. I find that very strange, but we're going to let you have that. But as the interview continues, you'll hear him react in more ways that show he didn't know that she was of the status that she was. He was even surprised, as he'll go on to say, that when they went to this cookie place and she got some attention outside. Check this out.
And the moment where I knew she was the real deal, we were going to, I think she had a gym invitational.
No,
I was milk.
Yo, went to get
milk and cookies, and number one rated cookie spot. And it was so many. I think it was like a Sunday we went. There was all these moms, and they're there with their kids, and we walked past, and everybody stopped and just kids are like shaking and it's like, oh my God. And I'm like,
You thought it's because you thought you were fine, huh?
man, nah. This was funny. They asking me, they like, here, can you take this picture? And I'm like,
So, Jay, what you're doing right now is confirming that she is actually the best in the world at flipping the script.
she flipped.
She shot her shot
She
at you.
flipped. She did though. Because if she wouldn't have messaged me, chances are, like, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would just, mine would have went somewhere else and wouldn't have thought to, you know, but she messaged me, and I mean, like I said, the rest is history, man.
Now, let me ask maybe a stupid question. If the role was reversed and Simone Biles had done an interview with someone, and when she was asked the very same question and she said that she was the prize, let me know in the comments how you would have responded had she said the very same thing. Would you be celebrating her, or would you be attacking her the same way you're attacking Jonathan? And over here, I found a very good analogy of what it means to be the prize and understanding why it's very challenging for a man to even say those words. No one ever seems to point out the one thing that doesn't make sense about this advice, saying that men are the prize. The prize doesn't do the chasing. The prize does not approach. If you want to win a big stuffed bear at the county fair, you've got to hit the bottles with the baseballs. The bear isn't the one throwing the baseballs at the bottle in order that you might be able to win it. The bear is the prize. All it does is sit there and wait to be won. You do all the work. So the important takeaway I feel for this situation here is that perspectives matter. Jonathan Owens does not have any malicious, that I can tell based on his actions and what he said in his words, intentions towards Simone Biles, nor her in return. They have found each other, and whatever works for them, works for them. It's not our place to sit back and judge and try to analyze and talk her, girl, you need to get out of this and that, third, and you man. No. Those two are happy with each other, and that's all that matters. I'm in a position where I want to celebrate the fact that they find each other and hope that they stay happy and don't wish any negativity upon them. Thank you for checking out the video. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about the whole Jonathan Owens, Simone Biles situation and how you feel about men claiming themselves to be the prize. And if you're interested in continuing the conversation, I left some links over here about accountability in relationships.